Okay, when I first started making framing hammers and making the waffle faces, I tried a few different methods to lay that pattern out, and they all worked okay, but I really wanted to do something that took a little bit less time, and so I thought that would be something interesting to show. When I first started, I did it with a hacksaw and a triangular file. After that, I moved to the bandsaw, a vertical bandsaw, and cut the lines in, but it was hard to see what I was doing. So that method didn't really work that well. I tried cutting it in with a chisel. That was pretty time consuming. And what I'll show today is the method that I finally ended up sticking with. And it's just using a cutoff wheel, as thin as cutoff wheels you can find, and 110 grit sanding disc. So the first thing you want to do is chuck the hammer up in the vise. It's really hard to lay out a pattern, almost impossible really, but you can just put your initial 2 lines in there on where you want to start, side by side, because you're going to work from the middle towards the edge, the middle outward. And that's where you start. Be sure to wear a glove, because this is going to throw sparks up on your finger. That lays in the vertical lines. I always work, well, I'm right-handed, so I go to the right, and it's hard for me to move to the left. Plus, I can't see, so that's why I moved around to this side to lay in and work to the right again. And then I always go back. I always go back and repeat in the opposite direction. So I come from this way and work out, and then I go back in these same lines and redo them. Now I'll go ahead and do the horizontals. You just draw one line, kind of do a preliminary cut to make sure you're straight. You know, you're working at 90s, and then you can come in and go ahead and cut all of them. The first one's the most important. Now you could leave it as is, and you basically made squares that haven't been brought to a pyramid, and it would probably work very well. Or you can bring the little squares to a more of a pyramid shape. But you have to, if you want to do that, you need to go a little bit deeper with the cutoff. So like I said, you can leave it like this, or use your cutoff, make the cuts a little bit deeper, and then use the 110 grit disc to make the pyramid. So I'll go ahead and repeat my cuts, get them a little deeper, and then use the 110 grit. A couple things you're going to want to do if you decide to make peaks out of the waffle face is you're going to need a backing pad that allows the disc not to be fully covered. You can't use this disc. It covers up too much of the disc. So you need to take another one that allows for it to show. And also, you need to make sure that the edge of the disc can fit inside those lines. And if you want it to get a little bit thinner, you can always use your grinder, your belt grinder, to take a little bit, to thin it out a little. I just gave it a little bit more clearance on that edge there. And then you just go line by line. You gotta flip it around. Here's what we have so far. And then do the other ones. And there you've got a waffle face.